Good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I am Becky Ives, and over the next hour, we'll be taking a dive into Toon Army territory and possibly the most passionate, supported team in the land. It's Newcastle United. I don't think anyone here is going to disagree with that. And if that wasn't enough for you all, dressed in black and white, we've only got one of the best loved names in Tyneside football history for you. Please put your hands together for the one and only Steve Howey. Good evening.
Good evening.
Look at that, they love you already.
I'm not too sure about the best loved names, but there you go.
Of course. How are you? Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you, yeah.
Excellent. Before we get into your playing career, let's talk about the team where they're currently at. A little season review, if we will, just briefly. Are you a happy Newcastle fan right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I ask the crowd, are they happy? Are you happy?
Yes.
I think you would have to say yes. I think the way that because they went through a bit of a sticky patch, but they seem to have getting that kind of nastiness back a little bit, being a bit more aggressive, being on the front foot. And the results have changed dramatically, and the performances have changed dramatically, and they're absolutely flying now.
Well, I think it was Anthony Gordon that came out and said that we all told each other some home truths in the dressing room earlier this season. Is it good to see that passion from within the squad?
Yeah, I think, some players can be too nice, and I think it is important to tell somebody what you think, I mean, without going overboard. But having said that, when results are not going well, when you're in the dressing room, what happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room, so you can sort of give somebody both barrels if you feel as though they're not doing their job. But ultimately, you've still got to look at yourself. You've got to look in the mirror. Am I doing my job? Am I doing enough? And I think there was a period of time where possibly not everybody was. So I think it was right that you have a sit down, get it all out, and then you move on.
Is this sort of the crucial part of the season, actually, that it's great it's all coming together right now? Because you can't win it now, but you can lose it.
Yeah, I mean, to put a run together, any time of the season is a great time. I think it's just having that consistency. I think what Newcastle had for a period of time, the only thing they were consistent in doing is being inconsistent. But they've got that consistency back now. And you look how the fans have been, the games away that they've won. I mean, pretty much every club, the away fans are unbelievable. But we've seen very clearly the Newcastle fans, I mean, they go absolutely mob-handed. And the way it has been over, every away game, but recently as well, because of the victories, it's been absolutely brilliant trips for them.
Yeah, to back it up, we've got a couple that have lost our voice over, haven't we, but they're still here tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is it a team that you would have liked to have played in?
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that's winning. Everybody wants to play in a winning team. we won some games. I always get asked the kind of, the comparison about the team now and the team that I played in. I have to be brutally honest, and I suppose I'm being biased, but I think the team that I played in was better. If you look at the team, if you look at the players, I'd be better. Would anybody disagree? Would you? Well, you've got no voice, so you can't really speak. But if you look, I mean, I know there's likes of Rob Lee's been on here and stuff like that. I think we'd sort of say that the players that we had were very good. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Newcastle's team is excellent. But a lot of the lads that did feature in that team, especially like kind of Kevin Keegan's team and classed as the entertainers and stuff like that, we would, to phrase Kevin, we would love it if Newcastle won something.
We're going to get into all this, don't you worry. Let's start by taking a look at your career, though, because proper North East lad. But you're born in Sunderland.
Yeah. You can't hide. You can't hide where I'm born.
No, but that's true. That's true. You were born in Sunderland. However, you went on to play for Newcastle under Kevin Keegan. Let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, I signed for Newcastle when I was 13. I mean, the manager was actually Jack Charlton. That's how long ago it was. And then, of course, Jim Smith came in. I made my debut under Jim Smith when I was 17. I was absolutely high-flying, top goal-scoring centre-forward that everybody will agree with at that particular time. And then, obviously, Ozzy Ardiles, and then Kevin came in. And that's when things changed because, I mean, I know Kevin gets credited for the fact of me being a centre-forward and then changing to centre-half. And I think the initial idea was Aussies. And I was going to play a game, but I didn't get to play that game because I got sacked. And then Kevin came in, and we had a conversation after playing a few kind of games behind closed doors, and the option was basically leave if I want to play anywhere but centre half. And that if I wanted to play centre half, he was going to take the team places. He wasn't wrong.
How did you feel about that?
I mean, being a defender is probably one of the easiest positions. It's still difficult, but to be in a midfield player is tough. To be a winger is tough. To be a centre forward is harder because you've got to score the goals. So I wasn't that fazed. And you know, when you first meet Kevin Keegan, if anybody's lucky enough to have met Kevin, he's just got this infectious kind of aura about him that you want to do well for him. And of course, having that conversation, it was a no-brainer for me.
Well, you did very well under Kevin Keegan.
It worked out okay.
No, he seriously did though. But let's talk about, so what did you win under Kevin? You got 2...
Nothing really, but there you
No,
go.
you got promotions.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously we were struggling when Kevin first took over,
Yeah.
and then we managed to stay in the league, and then we kind of took the league by storm after that. I think to be a footballer, you're blessed anyway. You're very, very privileged to be a footballer, but to be part of that era with him and them players was just, you know, no matter how long I live, I'll never forget it because it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, what was it like going into a dressing room with the players that you were playing with?
You know, we never worked on set plays. We never worked on defensive shape. But Kevin's teams talks were, you know, sit us down and he would basically sort of say, look to your right, look to your left, look at the players that you're playing with. And he would also bring the fans into it. He would say, these people have paid an awful lot of money to come and see you play, and a lot of them can't afford to come and see you play, but they want to. Put on a show for them, entertain them. That's what they want. You know, they've missed that for such a long time. Go and entertain them. If they score 3, we'll score 4. It's as simple as that. And that's what we used to try and do.
It's fascinating to hear, isn't it? Because we see it from one side, but it's great to get the insight from you. Should we talk about the time that you were 12 points clear? I mean, that is, well, you think about it now, what happened from the inside point of view there?
I think there was I mean, listen, I don't think you can take it away from, whilst it pains me to see it, I don't think you can take it away from what Man United did. I think the last 13, 14 games, they won 13 and drew 1. They would always win 1-0 and score right to the death. And our team dynamics changed. And it kind of knocked us a little bit. I mean, when we played Man United at our place, we absolutely battered them. And we couldn't score. Peter Schmeichel had the game of his life. It's funny because I'd spoke to Peter afterwards, because Peter came to Man City when I was there. They were in the dressing room afterwards and they were just sat there and it was pure silence because they've just thought, how on earth have we managed to come away with the win? The following year, we beat them 5 and it should have been that year. But that's the way it worked out.